Alright. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. That was Joey Ramone on his solo project. I believe the album is Don't Worry About Me, which is an awesome song too, but his cover of What a Wonderful World, R.I.P. Joey Ramone, one of the greatest punk vocalists ever. So, as far as updates, I've just been chilling, been off today and yesterday, playing some Legend of Zelda. I'm so fucking close, knock on wood, to beat Minish Cap. I got stuck on a puzzle last night and was playing for doing this stupid puzzle over and over and over and over again, and it was just driving me nuts. I just saved, turned it off. I'm like, nope, I'm coming back to it this morning. I beat it first try, so I'm like, I'm literally in Castle Hyrule, the dark Castle Hyrule, so hopefully I beat that game soon and do a review on it. But yeah, just yesterday I just kind of chilled, playing Zelda all day. Yes, I love going out and doing things, but my wife was working, and the older I've gotten, and this is what I've been into lately, is playing old school Zelda. Not gonna lie, dude, I'm kind of like, fuck yeah, dude. It's like a rainy day. All my chores are done. Lawn doesn't need mowed. I just want to sit and lay in bed and just play Zelda all fucking day, dude. It's kind of nice, man. So, today is, not sure how I'm gonna title it yet. Obviously, I'll know when I'm done, because honestly, sometimes a lot of episodes are kind of off the cuff. I do have some sort of order to this chaos. Illuminati confirmed. But, I had a really interesting long comment. And usually, if I have a super long comment, I will, respond in a video, because it's interesting. But another thing too, it's just easier than to write it all out. First, I did an episode on the Labubu craze that's been going on about how all these Labubu dolls are cursed, and a lot of these Christian Bible thumpers are destroying their kids' toys, because that's healthy parenting. I don't know, it reminds me, dude, I grew up, and I'm not telling you how to raise your kids, this is just my personal opinion, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. I grew up in a house where everything was bad. Every type of music I liked, bad. Every type of clothing I liked, bad. Every type of book I liked, bad. Everything that I was interested in was bad. So that caused some sort of mental distress in my head, to where when I got a car at 15, 16 years old, I went buck wild. I went out and, marijuana's bad, and I tried marijuana, and I'm like, this isn't bad. So that made me think that, well, if they lied about this, then they lied about all the other drugs. Yeah, I just went buck wild. And I think, honestly, dude, if you raise your kids too strict, me and my wife were talking about it the other day. We were actually talking about here recently, which I've heard it's a fake story, but then I've heard it's a real story, but then I've heard it's a fake story. I don't fucking know. Who the fuck knows? We're in an info war. But they were giving, Elon was giving Starlink so that these African tribes could get internet. And they were giving all these tribal members who don't have TV, who don't have, you know what I mean? They live in tents. They're literally giving them phones. And every single one of them, all the men of the tribes were have become addicted to pornography. Which we see this trend throughout time in general of when the camera was first invented, the very first photo was of a naked woman. And I don't blame them. Like, as a dude, like, I would be like, dude, we could take pictures of naked chicks and keep it in our pocket and just get to look at pussy whenever the fuck we want. Like, you know, it is what it is. Men are carnal creatures. But all these tribesmen are, like, sex addicted, and like, they won't have sex with their wives, and if they do have sex with their wives, they're wanting to do, like, freaky, non-traditional, non-missionary. They're wanting to do, like, anal and, like, analingus and, like, kinky shit, and their wives are like, whoa, what the fuck? These are, like, tribeswomen who, you know, have, like, never seen television. Like, it just, to me, and I use that example because it's like, dude, like, we used to have this family called the Eatons, and I'm pretty sure it was the Eatons, but they used to come over for dinner after church sometimes, and they didn't have television at their house, and every time we had TV growing up, my dad was a cinephile. He loves movies, and we would have the TV on, and dude, like, they were, like, literally mesmerized by it, like, and you would talk to them and they'd be like, huh, what? They'd never seen television, and they were like 12, 13, 14 years old and shit. It just blew their fucking bryons, you know? But, I don't know, all these parents destroying these Labubu dolls are just redonkulous. Like, you're fucking your kid up in the head. I'll never forget, dude, like, and I'm not, like, broken because of this. It wasn't, like, a life-changing thing, but I do remember this certain thing. I had, like, these little Digimon toys, and one of them was Wizardmon, and my dad was watching me play with them, and he literally said, what's that one? And, which I was always interested in witchcraft and stuff anyways, like Wizard of Oz and Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, and I kind of, witchcraft found me. Like, it knew that I think I was born a witch, man, you know, and then I just got into it at like 13, 14, you know. But he seen it, and he's like, what's his name? And I said, Wizardmon, and I already knew where he was going, and he's like, let me see it. And he's like, yeah, you need to throw this one away. And it's not like he didn't take it and throw it away. He, like, made me take it and throw it away to, like, prove a point. And it was, like, one of my favorite toys, and I don't know, it did kind of fuck me up. So, like, I got it out of the trash later, and I dug through the trash outside, and then I hid it in our backyard. I dug a little hole and put it in there. But it's just like, dude, it's not good, man. You can't be too strict, man. Otherwise, your kids will go buck wild. I mean, there's a reason why they say that the preacher's kids are always the most fucking wild ones. But, so I had a long-ass comment, and this is related to the Labubu episode, so go check that episode out. And also, the Shoe Man. And I just found it interesting because this is like a kind of like a paranormal story. So this is from Venomous Vixen. Basically, the manifestation thing is how Labubu became evil. That the maker intended it, wished it, whatever. Okay. And by the way, I'm not like hating on you, Venomous Vixen. I'm just politely disagreeing with you. I've talked about this in this channel tons of times. I have become a broken record. I've stood up for people like Tucker Carlson. I did a whole episode of 2 episodes where I reported on Russell Brand, you know, becoming a Christian and getting baptized. I think I did another episode called I'm Doubling Down on Russell Brand. You can go check that episode out. This community, Sam Tripoli said it best. He cracked me up the other day. He was watching. He was just talking about toxicity in the community, and he said somebody said something about conspiracy theorists accusing someone else, and he went, "Oh, I hate conspiracy theorists," and he started laughing. He said, "I love them, but I hate them." And as someone who's been a conspiracy theorist, you know, like for like years, like most of my life, like I feel the same fucking way, dude. And I've gotten jaded over the years, and I'm like, dude, we are like the most awesome community, but at the same time, like we are the worst fucking community. As far as like if someone does a hand signal, up Illuminati, you know, and it's like, dude, I do this or, you know, this a lot just because it's relaxing, or if I'm making a point, you know. It's like, dude, learn basic psychology. Um, and people will say, well, you don't think they're using hand signs? No, I do, but I don't think some dude in his mom's basement making conspiracy videos is like Illuminati, dude. Half these people being accused of this shit are just normal people trying to fucking get by like you and me. Um, I just, I don't want to be a broken record, but it's aggravating to me that the maker intended it. So he's like manifesting demons into these dolls, is what this person is saying. Where's your proof? Where's your evidence? So today, if we got time, we're going to do a deep dive on the maker of this and see if he's evil, you know. Also, most Christians don't believe in ghost, paranormal. That's not true. I was raised Pentecostal, and we literally had this thing called the Holy Ghost. That's not true at all. We actually believed in ghosts. And because the whole point of Christianity is you're saving your soul. So if you don't believe in ghosts, you don't believe in souls. Souls and ghosts are the exact same thing, dude. It's just your soul is in your body and it goes to heaven or hell, or sometimes it stays on the earth a little bit, gets lost. Go read the story of the Witch of Endor. I'm pretty sure that kind of proves the existence of ghosts. He went to the Witch of Endor, I think it was like Solomon or Saul or something, I could care less. And she was going to summon a familiar spirit, which is a demon, and turns out the actual spirit of, I think, Solomon or Saul or something showed up and was talking to the customer of the Witch of Endor. And it's like, that right there is a ghost story. What the fuck are you talking about? How do you not believe in ghosts, dude? Like, so what goes to heaven? Like, when you died, you don't have a ghost that comes out of you and goes to heaven? I mean, that makes no sense. So, sorry, I disagree with you highly on that one. Every Christian that I know, maybe they're not from America, too, or the South, but we all believe in ghosts, homie. Like, all the Christians I know. Not all, but yeah, yeah, sorry. We believe in aliens, too. For some reason, people think that the whole alien thing goes against the Bible. Where in the Bible does it says that we are the only world, that there's not other worlds out there, that there's not beings out there? Do you really think an all-powerful God, Yahweh, Jehovah, wouldn't build other worlds? He would just build us, you know? Just saying. Not everything is the devil or demons. That's just the first sentence in the book. I don't know what that means, but okay. There's thousands of entities. I agree with you on that. I believe there's jinn, interdimensional parasites, archons, ghosts, aliens, cryptids, fae folk, shadow people, tulpas. Dude, I can go all day. I believe there is thousands of entities, and I think a lot of them are misunderstood, and I believe that Christians like to label everything either angel, demon, and that's it. There's no other entities, so just saying. I feel energy from people and things. Me too, and it sucks. I'm sorry, I feel energies all the fucking time. It used to drive my ex-wife crazy because she would bring me into like sketchy fucking places around sketchy fucking people, and I'd be like, I want to go. You don't ever want to hang out and do what I want to do. No, I feel energies, bro. And then next thing I know, 5 minutes later, somebody would be smoking crack or like, getting in a fist fight. And it's like, see, there's something off about Labubu. I disagree. I think it's a child's toy. Even the song sounds like a chant. I haven't heard the song, so maybe we'll look that up. I'm no Bible thumper. I don't go to church. Cool. I read my Bible, believe in God, Jesus, gods, etc. Okay, if you believe in Jesus, I would suggest you, and this is just me, look into Astro theology. It's not the perfect film. It has its flaws and it's not completely correct, but a good way to start learning about Astro theology would be to watch just the first half of a film called Zeitgeist. Also, I would look into the works of Amon Hillman, who is a Greek scholar and gets into Jesus and the Septuagint, because you might want to be careful who you're worshiping, homie. Just saying. Jesus ain't who you think he is. I curse, smoke, have piercings, and I listen to rock. Cool. I do all of those things. Witchcraft is real. It's entirely possible Labubu has been voodooed. I'm not saying it's impossible. I just think before we should just start pointing fingers at some random Chinese man who created this, saying he's putting demons in all of them. What? By the way, I told you guys on the Labubu episode that I want to buy a Labubu. I found one that's real cheap at the mall. It was like $15, a little tiny one. Those things are expensive as fuck. So please like, share, and subscribe. I have a Buy Me a Coffee account. If you want to donate $1 or something, please do, because I'm probably gonna, I told you guys I would buy one and experiment with it and see if it's possessed, if anything weird happens. But you don't have to, but if you want to donate some money, that would be cool, because I'm kind of broke. Even $15 is expensive, you know. So, and tell me in the comments if you would like to see that. I love doing paranormal experiments, so it'd be fun. In my opinion, it's to make demons look cute or friendly despite the obviously creepy appearance. Yeah, maybe, perhaps. You said you're into the occult. Did you watch that wrestler guy's Shoeman VHS tape video? I have not seen the VHS. I've seen bits and pieces, but I heard there's like fucked up shit like abuse and violence and possibly snuff or rape related, so I have not seen the video. Did you notice something embedded into the video? No, I have not watched the video. Attached may be a better word. My house was cleansed before I moved in. No negative energy. I watched maybe 30 minutes of that VHS video. By the way, where is this video at? Is this on the dark web or something? Not that I want to watch it. I'd rather not. Now there's this negative energy present. Also, like I'm being watched. That's creepy. And I've had that feeling, dude. I've lived in houses that were haunted as fuck. And you're alone in a room and you're like, uh-oh, I'm not alone in this room. I thought you don't believe in ghosts, though, bro. So that's confusing to me, unless you believe it's like a demon. Toys randomly started talking. That's always creepy. I hate babysitting or staying in a house of someone who has children, because it always fucking happens. It'll be like 3 a.m. You're the only one awake. Everyone else is asleep, of course. That's how it always happens. And all of a sudden you hear, "Tickle me Elmo." I hate that shit. Beeping, floor creaks as if something's walking through, things randomly falling. Woke up to my front door open a little over a week ago. That's creepy. Something grabs my sheet every night and it feels like someone next to my bed putting one hand down with weight, like putting on a shoe while standing. I've saged 4 times now. Okay. Not trying to be rude, but we've talked about this on the channel before. Saging is like a Native American thing. I'm 2 tribes Native American, run through my bloodstream. I've studied Native American. You can go check out my Native American episodes. Because I'm an occultist, meaning I take multiple different spiritual paths and combine it and create my own religion. You know, I'm the god of my reality. That's why I love occultism. I create my own belief in religion. So I've studied like shamanism and shit. There's something that a lot of people don't know, and I don't mind to rehash this. Sage can cleanse things, but it can also amplify shit. It's for some reason like during the New Age movement of like the 60s and stuff, and like the spiritual renaissance time, all these white people just took sage from the Native Americans and started using it to cleanse stuff. It also amplifies it. It can amplify it. You're supposed to use sage very carefully. You're supposed to have like a natural thing underneath it, not a plate, but something like a seashell, like a gigantic seashell to collect all the ash. No ash is supposed to hit the floor. You're supposed to use that shit like on very rare occasions. And all these white people just saging the fuck out of their houses and wondering why there's all this spirit energy and shit and poltergeist activity and shit. And it's like, you're amplifying it, dude. People just don't know what they're playing with. Like, this whole idea that sage only cleanses. Yes, it cleanses, but it can also amplify it. You're supposed to use it on like rare occasions. So you're probably amplifying the fuck out of this paranormal activity. Just saying. Prayed the whole time, 30 minutes straight. Had doors open. Every fire alarm is in the house is going off. Most I've ever had to do was 2 times for lingering things that didn't leave. I've even watched an old friend transfer something dark to an ex of mine. I don't know what that means, but okay. So I responded, no, I haven't seen the Shoeman footage. What makes you believe the creator is cursing the dolls? So we're going to do a deep dive on the Labubu doll creator. Pop Mart CEO Wang Ning becomes China's youngest billionaire. How much is his net worth? And like I said, man, I just don't think we should just be shots fired all the time that everyone is evil, everyone is guilty. Guilty or innocent until proven guilty. I don't know this dude, so I want to learn about him with you and see if I get vibes that this dude is some evil dark wizard, you know, putting curses on dolls, you know, and giving them to children all over the world. Wang Ning, founder, chairman, and CEO of Pop Mart International Group, has seen a huge surge in fortune after Labubu's success. The 38-year-old entrepreneur's net worth soared from $7.59 billion at the end of 2024 to blah blah blah. From humble sketchbook doodles to multi-millionaire auctions, the designer toy Labubu has taken the world by storm, making its creator, Pop Mart CEO Wang Ning, the youngest billionaire in China. So, there's Western occultism and there's Eastern occultism. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I don't know much about Eastern occultism. It's all totally different too. Like, you can be an occultist who knows a shit ton of Western occultism and go out east and you know nothing, you know. I do in my heart, and I go towards what I'm drawn to, which is mostly Western occultism. So if he was an occultist, he'd probably be an Eastern occultist, you know. The origins of Labubu, the eccentric creature with a mischievous grin and pointy ears, trace back to the imagination of Hong Kong artist Kai-Sing Lung, who conceptualized as part of Lung's illustrated series, The Monsters. Labubu was a whimsical doodle that soon found a wider audience. In 2015, the character made his debut in Lung's book, but its commercial journey truly began in 2023 when Chinese toy manufacturer Pop Mart introduced the figure as part of its blind box lineup. Since then, the wide-eyed elven creature has evolved into a global phenomenon, transforming from a niche collectible into pop culture icon. So, we discussed this on the Labubu episode. It is based off of Fae folk. And if you want to know the origins of Fae, they're neither angel nor demon. When Lucifer rebelled against God, God threw out Lucifer and his angels. They became demons, fell to hell. But there was, a lot of people don't know about this, but there was a part of the angels who didn't want to side with Jehovah, Yahweh, or Lucifer. They were neutral, and they got thrown down, not to hell, but to earth, and became the Fae folk and cryptids. They're not good, and they're not bad. They just do their own fucking thing. That's why a lot of them are like tricksters and shit. So they're not demonic. Fae folk are not demons. If someone tells you that, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Now, I'm not saying they're good, but they're not bad, you know? They do whatever the fuck they want. They're free will, like us. And they said also, I mentioned it in the last episode, so go check that episode out, that it's based off of Nordic mythology, meaning like Odin, Valhalla, Valkyrie, that type of shit. This is why I told this commenter, you should really study Astro theology, because Odin is Jesus. Odin is Horus. Odin is Jesus. He was nailed to a tree, pierced with a spear. What was her name? I can't remember. Freya's spear, and it caused blood to come down. He had one eye, like Horus, who is also Jesus. The story of Jesus is not original, dude. It's been told for thousands of years around thousands of different cultures. That's why I don't believe in Jesus. I believe there's probably a historical figure who got intertwined with mythologies from different cultures. Just saying. So I know you said you're a Christian. It's probably gonna fuck with your beliefs. If you don't want to dabble into Astro theology, I get it, because it destroys Christianity. But so I don't see that as evil. But I don't see Jesus as the originator of that story. The Christians stole older paganism. Wang Ning, founder, chairman, and CEO of Pop Mart International Group, has seen huge surge in fortune after Labubu's success. The 38-year-old entrepreneur's net worth soared from $7.59 billion at the end of 2024 to $22.1 billion by June 2025. So this dude's rich as fuck off of this shit. It's so crazy, too, because it's such a stupid little simple thing. Like Beanie Babies or Furbies. And to just become a millionaire or billionaire off of that shit. I'm jealous. I need to come up with a stupid little stuffed animal or toy. I need to. Nearly threefold increase places him firmly among China's top 10 wealthiest individuals, and notably the youngest in that elite group. I guess maybe you could say that there's a Chinese conspiracy that they're cursing dolls and giving it to Americans. It wouldn't surprise me. The CIA is into the occult. A lot of the Nazis were into the occult. It wouldn't be the first time that a government has gotten into the occult and experimented with the occult. I don't know their intelligence agency over there. If you know, hit me up in the comments, And do their intelligence agencies or play with the occult, Much of this growth comes directly to Labubu's meteoric popularity, which has helped turn Pop Mart into a powerhouse in the global designer toy market. How did Labubu become so popular? Though Labubu was introduced to collectors in 2015, it wasn't until 2023 that it hit Pop Mart shelves. One of the most important moments in the journey of the doll was in 2024, when K-pop superstar Lisa from Blackpink Publicity expressed her fondness for the character. If I fly to New York, I go to Miami, I try to find a Pop Mart there, she said in a Vanity Fair interview last year. Paris, everywhere, kind of like finding treasure. Lisa's endorsement turned heads worldwide and sparked a frenzy amongst fans. Soon, other global icons such as Kim Kardashian, Rihanna, and Dua Lipa were also spotted with the quirky doll. That is a little concerning right there. I will give you that, because Kim Kardashian has literally said that they come from a bloodline of witches, and people have looked up her bloodline and seen that she comes from a bloodline of witches. And looking at like photos of the mother, who's like 70 years old, and she actually looks younger than Kim, it's like, what are you guys doing? Are you guys vampires? Rihanna, I don't know much about her, but I've heard her name pop up lots in the conspiracy community. I don't trust any of Hollywood. They're all into some sick, weird shit, and most of them are into like evil, dark occultism and shit. So I'll give you that one. Venomous Vixen. The Labubu brand has become more than just a collectible. It is now a financial juggernaut. Pop Mart reported that Labubu generated over $419 million in revenue in 2024, reflecting a staggering 726% year-over-year increase, according to Emily Bra. That's literally your last name, Bra. Heading a licensing for the Pop Mart North America. The popularity of the toy has extended to the collector's market as well. A life-size Labubu figure fetched 1.08 million yuan, according to Beijing auction house, at valued at blah blah blah. So we're almost, let's see, how much more of this article? Yeah, we'll read the rest of this article and wrap it up. The character's widespread popularity owes much to Pop Mart's blind box concept, which injects an element of surprise into each purchase. Customers don't know which version of the toy they'll receive until the box is opened, a strategy that has proven widely successful among both casual buyers and serious collectors. Wang Ning's newfound status as the youngest billionaire among China's top 10 wealthiest puts him in a company with some of the country's most powerful business magnates. These include Zhang Yiming. I'm a bunch of Chinese. I'm not fucking saying all this shit. After graduating Zhengzhou University with a degree in advertising, he launched Pop Mart in 2010 as a small operation focused on comics and mobile phone accessories. The company shifted gears in 2016 with the Molly doll series, laying the groundwork for its eventual breakout, the Labubu. So, like I said, this commenter just said, hey, this Wang Ning or whatever is an occultist. This is a picture of the guy too. And he's cursing the dolls and sending them out. The story sounds cool. You know me, I love the paranormal, I love crazy shit, but I'm not going to sit here and just accuse someone who I have no fucking clue who they are. I did a slight little deep dive on here. I'm not going to spend hours learning about this Wang Ning guy. If you have a link that proves that this dude is like an evil sorcerer from the movie Big Trouble in Little China, I would love to see it. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying I highly disagree. I unless I have proof that this dude is an occultist, like if this dude was wearing like an OTO pin on his jacket or wearing mason rings or something, then I'd be like, but seems like a young dude who just got lucky on making a stupid toy. Now I do believe in like homunculus and golems, and I do believe that you can manifest things into something. You can create tulpas and shit, but I think honestly that most of these people are manifesting it themselves and has nothing to do with this guy. He just made it and is making bank off of it. So until I have like amazing evidence for amazing claims, I'm not going to call this dude an occultist. I'm sorry, or a witch or an evil sorcerer. But I just wanted to respond to that. Got into a little bit of the Astro theology, you know, Labubu again. And nice ghost story though. Thank you for commenting that ghost story, man. That's interesting shit. We went all over the place, but I believe I addressed your long comment, which I enjoy long comments. It's just easier to talk about it. and do a deep dive on different sections of your comments and let you know, because you said a lot of things that were interesting that I wanted to report on. So I love you all. Please like, share, and subscribe, and you all have a good day.